Well, hello. You're
Yeah, it's still playing the intro video for me. It's so funny whenever you're the host and it it just blocks you out completely.
yeah. You see what I deal with on my end now.
Yep. Hey.
Welcome. I've only
Look,
been
we
here for an hour.
listen. I was waiting on Baysinger to get into the stream, and
Listen. The viewers know that's false because about 30 minutes ago, did you see what I did?
I haven't brought it up yet. But I saw, "Are we doing this?" And you were live.
I wrote a song for you.
Oh, you did? Oh my gosh. Well,
Oh,
welcome to the podcast. It's Just Hucking Around Disc Golf Podcast, episode 5, with me, Daddy Delp, and
Josh Baysinger of Baysinger's Disc Golf Channel.
yep, if you have not already, make sure you're subscribed to this channel and his channel as well. Leave us some love and let us know what you think of the podcast. We're on Apple and Spotify for this podcast. And sorry for the delay. Listen, we had it was not an emergency. It was just we had a little family get together planned for my wife's birthday. That's Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
We were like, hey, let's eat by 5, like around 5 or 5:30. We started eating at 7:15. We were there for like 2.5 hours, and I was sitting there the whole time going, I thought I was going to be okay when we said eating at 5 or 5:30.
That's funny.
And then it just kept on going. So I was like, this will be better late than never, I guess.
Yeah,
And we'll
no
just
problem.
we can abbreviate. This is going to be kind of like a spitball, kind of whatever we want to talk about. We'll try not to go as long today. Baysinger came in clutch with the pre-show
Yeah, I about
concert.
went and put my jammies on a little while ago. I was getting
Your
oh,
foot. Oh, look, Baysinger's got a mic. All the audio listeners, hopefully, these podcasts are starting to sound a little bit better for you.
yeah.
Hopefully.
So this mic. Let me know what you guys think of it. I'll probably be trying a few in the next few weeks. These are I've borrowed these from Mister Jim Rayfield, Mister Jim Amaya. So
Jimamiah.
yep.
So, have you had anything going on this weekend? Disc golf
Uh,
wise?
yeah. I actually got to play around yesterday with Mister Disc Golf Dude Pat LePage. So my family and I went up. He texted me yesterday early morning, and we didn't really have any plans just yet. And he texted me and was wondering if we wanted to come up and hang out, let the girls play with his daughter Willow. So we went up and played 4 holes, and then played at the little playground area with the kiddos for a little while, and then we finished. We played 9 holes together. They left, and then my family and I finished the full 18. So yeah.
And that was at Borden, right? You
Yes,
said?
sir. Mm-hmm.
Well, you finally got to experience Borden, and it's not so majestic form now.
It hurts. It really
Yeah.
hurts.
I won't ever say that I guess that the course was ever majestic, but
True.
compared to
Yeah,
what it is now, it feels kind of like we talked about, a little sad.
it is.
Disc golf
Yeah,
courses changes are sad.
I had forgotten that you had told me about the tree on hole one being gone,
Yeah,
and me and Pat got up there and looked at it, and it's just for the lefty, used to it be you'd be like a nice little two-y turnover, you know what I mean, and
mm-hmm.
now you just talk a poo, just throw it to the left
Throw.
of the basket and let it fade towards it. That's
Yeah, I
it.
mean it's basically anybody that steps up now is just throw your hyzer. I
Right.
say the lefty. I mean it might be just slightly harder than the righty just because of the bank for the righty. But I mean, you can
Mm-hmm.
still park it.
Right. Yeah.
Here you go. We got to point it out, I guess.
Jeffrey Stelly. Okay, the elephant in the room has been shaved.
Yeah. He was getting all these comments like a week ago or two. I'm looking at your picture on Facebook right now that you posted waiting on me.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's a great. That is great. Uh,
Uh,
yeah, so he was getting all these beard comments on the last streams we've been getting, and he got tired of it. He wanted to look like an actual Joshua Aaron.
an actual. I don't know who's. You might have more beard than me now.
I don't know about
Mm,
that. Look at this.
it's
It's,
yeah.
I don't even know which way to turn my face to show it right.
Well,
Nah,
no, I honestly just shaved it because, well, as you all know, the viewers know, I'm engaged now, getting married in around a year. So I wanted to just kind of see. Amanda likes my beard at a certain level, so we're shaving it to see
you're
how long
testing
it
those
takes to get
waters.
to that certain level, get
you
that yum factor.
you got to start now so that it can be true Duck Dynasty by
True
the
that.
time. Yeah, this is gonna be like you should have done a time lapse, like a picture every day, shaved just clean, and then by the time wedding day, it's like,
I actually
like
did. I started doing that once, but I was holding a disc golf disc every day, and I did it for like
ah,
7 days, and realized that's not for me.
this is a good one too. Y'all look kin now.
We look in now.
We kind of do.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, but so that was all you got to do this weekend, disc golf wise. Though, was just get that round in and stuff.
Yeah.
I swear, it always is cool to see how y'all get to go out with like your daughters and stuff, and y'all get to hang out and just throw some discs and stuff. I like that.
Hmm.
Once Charlotte's out of the crazy toddler age, just yeeting stuff at
Yeah.
me backwards. She'll stand on a tee facing the right way, and the disc will come backwards,
Mm.
and I have to dodge it.
We actually unfortunately had a little hiccup yesterday when my youngest daughter, she's still kind of in that stage of just kind of throwing sometimes and it not necessarily going where she aimed it. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, she hit Willow, Josh's, or um, Pat. I couldn't think of Pat's name. Uh, he, she hit Willow, Pat's child, unfortunately, in the
Oh,
arm with a driver. So it was
well,
kind of a scary.
at least it wasn't the head.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah.
Well, not the head. I've seen that happen in family affairs as well a while back. I mean, the kid was all right, but
Mhm.
I had a bunch of discs letting people throw them around in the yard, and kids was running, and one of them was just running and caught one right in the back of the head while they was running, and then I
Yeah.
was like, okay, okay, let's chill out for a minute. But
Staley said that Amanda wanted to see my face to make sure.
you were still on what is it they call your I can't think of the word. It's like whenever you're starting a job, temp status until they
Oh,
fully hire you.
yeah. Oh,
No,
that's funny.
I've actually started working on getting an air course here, more holes.
Mm. I heard. Let's hear some deets, man. I'm excited. You said possibly 27 in the future.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's funny because I'm really close with the Parks and Rec people because it's such a small town. The guy I talk to him all the time, so I've got his number and we text and stuff. And then one of the other guys goes to my church, and I talk to him all the time. And I was talking to him the other day, and he's like, "Hey, when are we gonna get up there to your course and start working on those 9 other holes you want to add?" And I was like, I mean, I said like 3 or 4. I mean, 9. And he was like, yeah. He's like, well, I used to go with my dad when I was little to golf courses, and he would drag me all over. And he's like, I remember whenever you get to a course that had like 27 holes, golfers loved it. So he's like, I like the idea of a 27 hole over an 18. And I'm like, I can see what I can do.
Yeah.
So I immediately went out the next day and started kind of looking, and I think I have a plan for
Nice.
it for us to have a 27 hole course. And I'll just go ahead and tell the way that I'm looking at it right now, because originally I've told you I want to have a gold layout
Hmm.
incorporated into this course that will utilize. That's why I was kind of trying to get to like 22, 23 holes.
Hmm.
So like our course isn't super long, it's just crazy wooded. So what I was trying to do is be able to have holes that kind of play in a similar flow so that when we had a gold layout, I could combine holes to make a really hard hole. And what I've figured out now is I think I can get 27 in pretty comfortably. Um, I don't know if you can remember exactly at all, but once you get on the back nine, there's a hole that's a par four, and it kind of crests the hill, goes down. It's like it has a bowl with the basket on the left side, and it had like a right before the green. There was like a logs making a circle
Oh yeah,
in the
yeah. I
area.
love that hole. Yeah.
So what I'm looking at right now is pretty much everything plays normal up until then. And then what I originally wanted to do is go up a left above the basket and just have a extra hole,
Extra. Read all about it.
extra, um, that would play down kind of behind it going towards the next tee to have an added hole. And then for a gold layout, we play the new hole's basket because it would fit with that direction of the hole because you'd just be playing like that deeper. Now what I
Mhm.
figured out is I can still have that hole, but go up and have another tee near it, play back the opposite side of the ridge,
Ooh.
add a hole that's the holes that most of them I'll add will be not crazy long, like maybe 200 footers or something. Have one that goes back that way, another one that plays back towards 11, and then you come back to that tee up there, and I can get four there, and then two more above hole 14.
Hmm.
So I think that's going to help us out. And I'm also redesigning the original hole 17 and adding two holes on that side as well that will actually wrap you back around to where 18's tee is. Because when you came, did we have to walk 17 and then walk back to 18's tee? It was like two tees
Yeah.
butted against each other.
Back up the hill.
Yeah,
So it's like one down here, and then we had to go back. Yeah.
and then play 18. Yeah,
Hmm.
so people complain about that a lot. So that's why I added the other hole. That's what I was telling you. I added the other one so it would
Hmm.
flow so people wouldn't have to walk down and then come back up to tee off the last hole. So
Hmm.
what I'm looking is to drop that tee a little bit further down the fairway, play to the left, completely different hole, change the basket position and the tee position, then have one play across the bottom where you went to on the other, and it would be actually a pretty hard hole, and then have a really short hole that wraps you back around where you would end up like 50 feet away from 18's tee tapping out and make it worth people like not thinking like, oh, I got to walk back up there. It's like, oh, you just ended up back there playing another hole.
Yeah.
So, and that'll get us to 27, I believe. I don't know
Ooh, that's
how
awesome.
soon, but the my idea is to have all those holes, have the 18 hole layout,
Hmm.
and on the tee signs, like have like this is blue, white, and gold tee. Like if it's all to the same thing, and have like the blue layout is the 18 hole layout that we have now.
Hmm.
White layout be like the 27 hole layout, and then gold be the tees that you're playing to play the gold layout. And whenever you get to a tee, you look and be like, I don't play this one if I'm playing the blue layout, because it would be
Oh,
like
okay.
if it's in the 27 hole layout and that's all it is a 27 filler, it'll only have like a white circle with that whole number on it or something.
Hmm.
So you can get there, and it could get confusing if you're not paying attention, but have like blue 18, white like 20, and
Hmm.
gold like 11 or something like that. So you know that you're on the right hole for that layout. But that
Well, with
is,
the how UDisc does now, it shouldn't be that difficult. You know what I mean? People
yeah,
should be able to follow it fairly easily.
yeah. As long as you're following along with the digital scorecard like that, and then you just check the tees when you get there, I think it'll be pretty simple. And we're
Hmm.
waiting now. What we're doing is we're holding off on a full course map too before we do it because now there's a chance that we completely change tee signs too, get new tee signs for
Hmm.
every hole. And I've also started working on a long tee for hole one as well.
Oh,
So
okay.
have a long tee for hole one that we could incorporate into a gold layout as well. So
Now, is it going to be back further in the woods, or going to be back like in the open area and throw into the woods?
It's just a longer shot in the woods. It's actually the tee shot. I don't know who it's going to favor, to be honest. It's right now. I've got it measured out at around 300 and some feet, but I think the elevation changes at least by 30 feet going uphill.
Hmm.
So it's going to be in one of those things, and it's going to be crazy hard to actually to this hole. I've actually already cut some on it, to be
Oh,
honest,
cool.
and I've got the fairway where you can kind of see it. So I'm in between whether this is going to be a really, really hard par three or a par four that's gettable. But if somebody twos it, it's going to be an amazing shot because for a righty, it's going to have to be kind of like a flex,
Hmm.
and for a lefty, you can probably play it fairly simple for a three. You kind of throw a hyzer into the original fairway and then pitch up. So somebody like Melton might be able to flex like a forehand, or if they got a really good hyzer flip
Yeah.
that could have a really late turn, it's a possibility.
Hmm.
Possibility. So I think I like the idea of having that long one for a gold layout or something, because I'm eventually where we don't have any other tournament prospects here is to have this as like a 2 day tournament at some point, and day two be like tee time gold layout
Oh,
or
that's cool.
something, so that it's a hard layout. Everybody's playing it, but you're teeing, you're having tee times and stuff. That would be like I guess the ideal thing for me is to if we have a gold layout, it's only played because you're gonna have to use other baskets too
Hmm.
that you don't normally use. So
Well, that's exciting, man. I'm pumped. I think also that like even if you have to do a couple little dinky kind of holes, people still like they might call the hole dinky, but they're still gonna they're still gonna
three
play the
it.
hole. They're gonna
They're
like
still gonna three it like me.
good boy. I mean yeah, like so I think having eight or having 27 like it's worth it to have a couple little dinky ones to have a full 27. I think personally.
Yeah, and the one that'll be right before the last hole that I was talking about, it actually would end up being a decent lefty hole. And right now, I don't know the exact distance, but I feel like it's maybe measuring out at like 140. It would probably end up being the shortest hole on the course, unless I
Hmm.
can design the previous hole before it a little bit better to where it's over further left away from it. Because the way it is right now, one plays up this way, and I have to kind of play perpendicular to
Hmm.
it, and it's this one's an uphill shot, so um, it's just how much I have to work with on that left side down there. If I can push that whole hole over a little bit, hole,
Hole.
I can maybe stretch it to like 160 or 180 or something like that, and it'd
Hmm.
be. But the way I'm looking at it is kind of like you. It's that is just a fix to make it a better flow for people to play that side,
Hmm.
because the other alternative I have is to have one hole right there in all that woods. And what I'm actually thinking about too is for a gold layout where that original 17's tee was, that was downhill, is to just repurpose that wood, turn it, and have a gold tee for 18. That's
Hmm.
further back because it's like 40 feet further back. So it make hole 18 a harder
Ooh, it'd be
shot
tricky.
as well.
Would that
So
not come into 17's fairway though?
no, because what I'm looking at doing is either pulling 17's tee further back or down the hill to the left.
Oh, okay.
So you would be more so 18 would be straight back from where the tee is now, and you have 17 um, down probably at least like 100 or 80 feet down to your left. So it would
Hmm.
still be there, but it would be almost next to you, like 80 feet away. So it
Okay.
shouldn't be too much of a problem. But
I just wouldn't got to shout out mother in the comments. We don't hate you, buddy. We see you in here.
mother, no, we your nickname was born here.
Yeah,
You are forever.
you- you're part of it now, guy.
You are part of it.
Uh,
So no. Staley got his disc
oh,
already.
cool. Oh, cool.
Yeah, he got his white herring. This
Did he
man is impressed by you. I have to say, Staley is impressed by the Baysinger.
did he see what I wrote on there? I assume he did.
All your efforts in decorating the box and and enjoying his fish.
I got some comments on that box before I even shipped it out.
That is awesome.
Oh, that's great.
No,
Micah got his as well, and I don't know if you saw. but I posted Jeffrey. If you want to do this, also uh, either send to me or Josh like a short of you throwing them,
Yeah.
and I put mine on like Micah's first few throws with the Kahu and then the Ruru as well.
I saw Micah's first throw with the Kahoo
Hmm.
while I was sitting there at the table tonight, like
Yeah.
waiting. I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do.
He sent me another clip of him throwing the Kahu. Like that was his first throw with it. He said it went about 350
That's pretty good.
on his first throw at like 80%, and then he threw the Ruru, which I put it up whenever I was waiting on the co-host, or the host of the night,
The
uh,
ho host.
the whole host. But he threw the Ruru 300 feet dead straight. He said,
That's a good
"So
shot. I
yeah,
think when I reviewed it, I was close to like I threw a couple like that at 300 feet. I'm toying with the idea of trying to bag the Ruru again. The only reason I never did, I like the way it flies. I just the rim was just weird enough, like where it's like that deeper
hmm
putter, kind of like a dagger deep kind of feel. That it's not my favorite type of feeling, but I do like
yeah,
the way it flies. So I'm toying with the idea of trying to bag it. Although I can get probably similar flights out of the Glow 2E that I've started kind of messing around with in my bag
hmm
and stuff. So I don't know. I'm in between. I'm in between whether it did because I did like the way it flew. Like the one you let me throw that one day. I think it was a premium plastic one you let me throw at the round at the ridge.
was it
And
blue or was it like
I
a
think
pinkish?
so because I kept telling you I was like I might throw a Takapoo and you was like just try this one.
Yeah.
And I
Well,
almost aced that hole 4 or something with it.
now that one eye bag is for some odd reason it's more stable than most Rurus I've thrown, which is weird. I don't know, man. We had it at the shop at Halo, and I was like, I kept feeling it every day. I had like I've told you before. I mean, I've got no lies to tell. The Rurus, out of all of the RPM discs, probably my least favorite, just because I can control the 2E to get the same exact flight, and I like to feel better in the hand. You know,
Hmm.
that's not to say I dislike the disc. It's just not one of my favorite top tier discs. But that one, like I felt it, and I was like, Brian, this one's going to be more stable than the other ones. I was like, I've got to get it, and he was like, No, man, don't get it, don't get it. You've thrown so many of them, and I went against his judgment and bought it, and I was correct. It was definitely more stable, so that one instantly went in the bag.
Yeah, I remember you talking about that one. I've got a couple. I feel like I have a glow one and I have a blue premium plastic one as well.
Hmm.
And I messed around with them for a little bit. And I have a base plastic one that I originally got from Halo when I got that starter pack
Oh,
off of
okay,
you.
yeah.
So I had the Ruru, the Pekka Pekka, and the P Waka Waka for that initial video, which I still have never even done. I've got I've got 4 or 5 starter packs sitting in my truck still that I wanted to do because I want to do a starter pack challenge with
Hmm.
like 4 people, but getting 4 people together, I know you have experience dealing with that. Uh, it's
Yeah.
quite tough, and the way I want to do it is like we get starter pack or whatever, and whoever gets to pick theirs first, and then every 4 holes or something we rotate starter
Oh,
pack
cool.
so that everybody has to relearn a starter pack after they've learned them basically the whole
Hmm.
round and see who comes out on top and maybe let the winner keep whatever starter pack they want or something like that. But I don't know, maybe we should do that.
Hey, I'm good with it. It'd be fun.
Yeah.
Hey,
So,
Mungo in the comments. What's up?
hey, there he is. Just got back. Let me see if I can sling that up real quick. Just got back from the park. Number 1, number 3. Ooh, some beauties in it. Listen, Stelly has been. I ordered my little pack for whenever. I don't know when it's going to come because RPMs handles them and where they're in New Zealand and
Hmm.
stuff. I don't know when they're going to come, but I've ordered it, and he's wanting me to go live. And I was telling him I was going to do a regular just unboxing video, but he was like he would like to see your reactions to some of the discs that come out of it. So I'm up and down on whether I want to do that or if I just want to do it both ways.
You could do it just live on the that week. just save them until the your week of the whole discussion, or not the whole discussion, but the hucking
Yeah,
around.
I
I
could.
will never remember the names of our podcasts. That's probably it's probably something I should remember, but
Listen, I've actually given myself. We ramble so much that I have not even gotten myself in 3 episodes to say the podcast warning at the beginning that I wrote down in my phone to say as a funny thing. It's
oh,
like it said, just a warning: we will ramble, we will get off topic, we will laugh, and of course, we'll talk about disc golf.
that's true.
And this is the first time I've said it, and I've had it written down since like episode 2,
It's funny.
and I didn't even say it at the right time. So there's your
Oh,
warning for now. Um, no, just a little news. KJ Nabo. Was
yeah,
that
it's
not
awesome,
nuts? Is that not
dude.
nuts? KJ Nabo had been with Innova for a while, had
Yep.
probably the best exit and entrance video into a new sponsor.
Hmm.
He's got such a funny personality
He does.
to me. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. It's on his YouTube. I don't even remember if it's just KJ Nabo or KJ Disc Golf, maybe. I
Uh,
don't remember.
yeah, something like
I
that.
sent it to you, I think. I don't remember, but
You do.
he left Innova and he has joined Team Discraft because Discraft, evidently, with all this stuff going on, Paul Macbeth is going to be touring a lot over in Europe, evidently, and missing some major some pro tour events in the states. Seems like Discraft is pushing into the European region, and that's what he says in his video. Is he's going to be part of Discraft growing in that part of the world because it's not evidently heavily thrown
Wow.
over that way. So that's what it sounded like it is um, for me. But that was very surprising because I feel like he was mentioned on one of our episodes early on when we were talking about maybe. I don't remember if it was when we were talking about people we wanted to play with or something. I don't remember.
Hmm.
But I remember you mentioning KJ Nabo when we were talking about maybe Innova players or something and him not being on tour. That may be what it
Hmm.
was.
Yeah, I
Ramble.
can't remember if that was. You said ramble.
Yeah,
You just give
ramble.
me a topic and say ramble. I can, sir. Don't you put me to the test. I will. Ask Amanda. Uh, but yeah, I don't think it was. Honestly, want to say it was someone in the comments that had mentioned KJ Nabo, and I was just pumped
Maybe.
because I've been a fan of KJ Nabo for years, and I really hope that this gets him back out in the public eye some more because a lot
Yeah.
of the COVID golfers have no clue who, you know what I mean? They saw the
Hmm.
announcement video and they're like, who did what? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like they they don't understand like how good that man was at one point in time. Like, I,
Listen. Yeah. Him and also Seppo Paju, which you're not
yes,
going to have an opportunity to see on tour anymore.
I
So,
know it's sad.
like you talking about COVID golfers, I wanted to say his name before I forgot because I interrupted you. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. I 100%. I'm glad you did say that because KJ's sorry, I just went right back to KJ. Don't you interrupt me. We're talking about KJ right now. Seppo's also uh one of my favorite players that I've liked to watch because like I can't remember the course, but I want to say it was that Brazos course. Like he was the only one to do
Oh yeah,
a
that
certain
one par
hole.
four
Yeah,
all the way through the woods, insane.
right.
It's like 550 feet or something like that.
It was
He was
either
one of
Jonesboro
those.
or Brazos. I can't remember, but
Yeah, uh, he was one for a while that I tried to kind of emulate to try to get myself better at hitting gaps. Not necessarily all of his form, but
hmm.
the way he holds his arm like this to elbow.
Oh yeah,
There was a while when I was trying to figure out how I could hit narrow gaps better throwing low power, and I held my arm up like this, and it was just I got my elbow pointed where I wanted it, and I got really good snap off of it, and I just liked watching him, and he throws far. He
yeah.
throws far.
Hey, you never know, man. Maybe that's all he needed. I know he was a big advocate for Prodigy. I know he loved Prodigy a lot, but maybe that's what he needed. Maybe Discraft going over into Europe. Maybe who knows? You know what I mean? Maybe we open. Maybe we put a little crack in the door at least. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Um, I swear it's going to be interesting. I saw some people talking about maybe Macbeth's wanting to test the European tour to actually see like what talents over there, but also I think a
Mhm.
big part of it is just Discraft
Yeah.
is going overseas and they're like, hey, you're a great you're a great guy to send.
Yeah.
And he's like I've heard other people, it's not an original thought for me, it's just what I've heard people talking about is there's not much for him to lose going over there. He's proved Paul Macbeth's proven himself.
Oh yeah,
I
for
mean, there's
sure.
nothing left for him really to prove, and just going over to Europe and having fun and maybe winning a couple titles over there.
Hmm.
It'd be cool, but I'm really interested to see the European talent because my gosh, I think almost one of my new favorite developing disc golfers is Albert Tam or
Hmm.
Tom. I don't even know how to say his name, but watching, did you see any of that distance contest that's been getting posted up from 2022?
I did not. I don't know. I kind of want to watch it, and I kind of don't. I don't throw distance, so I'm like, why watch it? It's you know what I mean.
Learn some or just get
I
blown away.
learn that I should stop. Maybe I don't know.
Uh, no, listen. Okay, so you had David Wiggins Jr., Garrett Gurthie, um, Eagle wasn't there,
Mm,
but you had Anthony Barella, and Anthony Barella has said before that Albert is one of the people that could potentially throw as far as him, or maybe be able to beat him. And
hmm.
spoilers, I'm pretty sure. I don't know. I think David Wiggins ended up winning, but the farthest throw on the day was from Albert Tam.
Really?
And it
Wow.
is insane to watch because it looks like he's just walking up to throw a putter. You got David Wiggins out there running 90 miles an hour, doing his
Hmm.
360 and throwing it 90 miles an hour. And Albert Tam just walks up like he's throwing a regular shot. And he threw one 710 feet. And it's insane to watch the throw because you see all these other dudes, like, they look like they're throwing hard.
Yeah.
And Albert looked like he's just throwing, he looked like he's throwing, um, what is like the flippiest disc in your bag?
Um.
That Pekka Pekka, maybe?
Old run
Or
Kiwi.
Old Run Kiwi. That's what his
Mhm.
drivers looked like. Like he'd just barely walk up and he'd throw it and it just turned forever
It's
so
crazy.
high. It's just, it's impressive to watch him throw that. And somebody was saying it would be interesting to see if he ever learned actually like a 360 or something and got proficient at it like how David Wiggins is. Because David Wiggins, I think, threw one 690 or something. They said it was slight downhill. So, I mean, the 700, still a very big crush, but not, I guess, flat ground 700. But um, it's impressive to see. So I'm really curious to see if there's any other big guns over
Hmm.
there because he's just an entertaining guy. Once he pulled the bazooka out like 4 years ago, the Circle Two bazooka putt, it
Yeah,
cracks
that
me
was
up.
awesome.
He's such a character. It seems like so. I don't know. I was curious if you got to see that or not.
No,
He's
I
impressed
didn't.
me with how far he can throw.
I definitely want to. I'll check a little bit of it out at least. But
He
those kind of competitions, kind of to me, it's like ooh, like because these are like the players that we're seeing on tour. You know what I mean? I feel like it's an easy way for them to enter themselves. So it's kind of a scary competition. You know what I mean? Because they're just going
mm-hmm,
out there. You know, when they're playing on tour, they probably never pass 80 to 85%, maybe
yeah.
90%. You know what I mean? On these, they're throwing like 118%. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of scares me to see some of them. I mean, that's kind of how Eagle got hurt, right? Was filming a
Well, he
video for
did
Joan
his
Dance on
doing
something.
something kind of stupid though. I think they asked him to do it, and then they were like, "You don't have to if you don't want to." But he threw a 360 forehand,
Oh, okay.
and whenever he came through like this on the 360, that's when his, I can't remember if it was his shoulder or his elbow,
Hmm.
whatever. That's when it was, and he was like, "Oh." So
Mm,
his was kind of different. It was a 360, but it was one that's not a normal
yeah.
throw that I guess he does often. I think he played around with it sometimes. I'd seen him throw it like in a video before, but I think he only does that whenever he's literally just like, I want to have fun and do something kind of stupid. And he did, and that's what ended up happening. So I think that played a part in him getting hurt. But I mean, it is a whole lot more dangerous, like you said. Anytime somebody's going 100% over top
Mm-hmm.
of going 80% or 90, so I know I've heard a lot of pros say that. It's like I never want to be throwing 100%. But I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I feel like at the same point right now too, we're starting to see more pros taking their fitness a little bit more serious as well,
Mm-hmm.
stretching a whole lot more before do pre-round or pre-throw warm-ups. It's gonna help with that kind of stuff. Even a lot of them's doing their recovery with the cold baths and all this different stuff. So I mean, they're getting to a point where it's a little bit more taken more serious, I guess,
Yeah.
is the only way to say it. And I'm trying to think if there's any other sports that you would see something where people normally don't go full out, but do I mean maybe at like an NFL combine or something like that. I mean, you could definitely say that. I mean, they're not doing a normal move, but it's whenever they do 225 on a bench press for as many reps as possible. Uh, it's hard to say. It's really hard to
Mm-hmm.
say. The only other close thing I could say would be like in track and field when people are constantly trying to break their records on long jumps and stuff. You
Mm-hmm.
always have to go 100% there. So
Yeah,
ah,
that's just what worries me about it. I mean, I just know one day it's going to happen. Somebody's eventually going to get hurt trying something like that. You know, it's just inevitable that's going to happen. Looks like we
yeah.
got a couple of people in the comments that we've never had, so I just wanted to
I saw
shout
somebody.
out
What
here.
was it? Cloudy
Joel
Vision?
Marble. Yeah,
Where
Joel
is that
Marble
at?
above. He's on up and Warlord of Art. I think they tuned in a little
Oh,
while,
I
a
see
couple of
that.
podcasts ago.
So there's Joel
And
Marble. Welcome in.
yeah,
He may have been before, but if you have, we just might not have seen your name. Sometimes these
hmm
comments go nuts.
yeah.
So we'll shout out just to make sure. But yeah, Cloudy Vision. I don't know if I've ever seen that. So what up? Thanks for
hmm
joining in. He just said yo, or
Yeah,
maybe
he
they said
said,
one more 360.
yeah,
Yeah,
364 for Eagles. So yeah, just wanted to shout out that to keep people going. And also T Rex disc golf.
yeah. I
Mr.
saw him
Jacob
floating around.
Standridge in the comment. Yeah, it's funny. He said, I don't know if you saw that comment, but he said smashed it like 700 feet, but it's a
Oh
bit of a
yeah,
typo. And there for a second, I was like, who is Sam Shed?
Shane.
Who's, who's this Sam
Sam,
Shed kid I've never heard of
I
throwing
even
at
I
700
even
feet?
I even read it and didn't even realize that's their brain right here. I read it and
I
smashed
know.
it. I did not even pay attention to that. Sam Shed.
It's Sam
That's
Shed.
great.
This kid's on
Sam Shed.
fire.
That's awesome. Uh,
Uh,
no, I could see that, but moving
I'll
on,
probably
I don't.
watch it, honestly.
You'll watch it and see. It's. I mean,
Yeah,
sometimes it's
probably.
fun. I mean, it's one of those things too. I'm always just like, I wish I could throw further, but I'm not ever gonna be throwing that like 500 plus type of distance ever. Right now, if I can hit 400, and if I could ever get to the point where I was comfortably hitting 450, a lot of times out of my shots, I would be
hmm
really happy. I can hit it every once in a while, but it's not very common. I'm more so hitting. I'll hang around that 400. If I can throw 400 accurately, I'm pretty happy with it. So Sam Shedd is
hmm
1050 rated, is what people just said.
What's up, Pickle?
Oh, this is gonna be a good one now. They're taking
hmm
off with Sam Shedd. Sam Shedd is a legend. But Pickles in the comment, and we like to see it.
Can someone set up a YouTube channel that Sam Shed, and then we'll get you live on here with us?
Somebody needs to
So it
get
can
on
say,
and get Gavin Babcock to do a video with me and Baysinger. He's
yeah.
got a YouTube now. Go comment it. It can't. I mean, it's probably got more subscribers than I have now. But they're like 2 weeks ago. It was at like 100 and something, I think, or like maybe I could be wrong. It could have been 500 or something. But
I love to see it, and I also hate to see it because it's like, man, I've been grinding for years, and they're already But I also love to see it because I'm like the pros are, getting they're getting the following they deserve when it used to not be that way.
Yeah, that is true. Um, it is what it is. At some
Hmm.
point, like I don't know, he's not like the most crazy active like social media guy, but I think he does post enough, and he's been on enough coverage to where he's one of those people that he can easily break probably 2,000 to 10,000 subscribers really fast with very minimal content. Just
Hmm.
people knowing that he has a channel out.
Right. Yeah.
Um, but branching back are you kind of curious to see what they're going to do with this European tour going forward?
What I'm curious to see is not so curious, but excited that Dickerson is going to Europe this year. I don't know if you saw that. No
I
one's
did see
ever
that.
seen it. I mean, he's never played in Europe. No one's ever seen him play those courses. So I really, really hope he makes. If they don't do a feature card with Dickerson, I'll be highly upset. You know what I mean? Like, I think he could probably make it to a league card for at least one round, so we'll get to
Oh
see it.
yeah.
But if he goes over to Europe and we get zero content of it, I will be red in the face.
will be rojo in the
Rojo
face. Rojo in the face hole.
in the face.
Nah, I know last year he had planned on going overseas. He had said it in his schedule, and then towards the end, he ended up not going. I don't remember what that was about. So I hope he does make it this year because I
Hmm.
think it will be something good for him. It probably helps that he's on the same team as Macbeth, and Macbeth's going to be over there now as well.
Hmm.
So that will be something. I'm just kind of excited to see some more, um, like get a hopefully a tournament rounds on coverage at the Beast.
Hmm.
And then you know what I remember one of the tournaments I watched back at it was before I was on YouTube was the Australian Open.
Oh gosh,
Remember when they had
yes.
that? It was their discs were like melting, but it was
Hmm.
still really cool to watch. That was that one where they had like multiple, I feel like 1,000-foot holes or something like that, and they were literally having to walk up as fast as they could and put markers down because their discs were like getting
Yeah.
to a point where because it's so hot. But I was like, this is such an interesting thing to watch because it's different, like different elements that they're generally dealing with, and it's just pretty too. I like
Hmm.
seeing it, but
Yeah, they
some
only did that Aussie Open one year, which they did some kind of this year they did Australian Championships or something like that, but
yeah,
that was different than the Aussie Open. I hope they do that again for sure.
yeah, I liked watching that because I remember watching Eagle and Macbeth and all of them over there at that tournament. It was really cool, and get New Zealand, some of them different places we've not seen
Right.
will be really cool if we can get some big events there. But like you said, I really missed that one, and I don't know if they're ever going to do the Japan. I think they're
Yes,
doing the
this
Japan,
year,
right?
24. Yeah.
You
The
know what?
only thing that I'm not excited about is they used to do the Japan Open. They had them do 150 class,
Yeah.
and they took that out.
Well,
So
I
it's
think they changed the law. That was because of law.
oh really?
Yeah, in Japan, early, the reason that was anything over 150 grams that flew was considered a weapon, from my knowledge, in Japan. So they all
Oh
had to bag under 150 class. So now I think they
wow.
have updated maybe law or something there to where that's not the case anymore. But I said that, then I literally looked up on the wall and remembered I have um, two of the Japan Open discs
Oh
that they
yeah.
just put out, the Scorpions. Funny
Mm.
story, a local here. I don't know if he'll listen to this or not. Michael Laws. He loves Scorpiuses, the
Hmm.
Millennium Scorpius. He got on. I don't know if it'd be funny if he listens to this, but he literally gets on our little group chat that we have. There's about 5 of us, and he'll sometimes post a link. He'll be like, "Hey guys, they're live. This is live. Go now. Bye. Go now." So he posted that. He was like, "Go now," and then I rarely ever buy anything like that. So I just sat there and I went and just looked at it real quick, and I was like, "Why are these things like 185 grams?" Like, I don't understand. I was like, is that legal? And it's all by actual disc specifications. So these are a little bit over 180
Hmm.
grams, but they're still legal because I think it fits in the diameter of the disc specifications for the PDGA. And he goes, I don't know. I've been seeing people all over Facebook asking the same question too. And then about 10 minutes later, he goes, oh no, I've made a horrible mistake. He's like, I thought these were Scorpiuses. They're scorpions. I was like, okay. He's like, I've already ordered two.
Oh, that's funny.
And then he got them, and he's like, I have no use for these. And I had two wall hangers here that I didn't really care about. And I was like, I'll trade for one. And then he ended up wanting both. So
Mm,
I traded both. And I was like, they're just wall hangers. I'm not going to throw them, but I already had them wall hanging. So
that's funny.
yeah,
I'm glad you mentioned that about the weight because that's one thing that we could touch on here if you want to. A lot of people don't know that about the weight on discs.
differences.
It's per, like you said, diameter. So
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not just diameter. Lots of stuff goes into it, but every disc can be different. We know that mostly mid ranges can go up to 180.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably because of, like you said, there's certain diameter, certain thickness, or something
Yeah.
like that. Like the Pekka Pekka, for instance. I don't know if you know this, but it's approved up to like
7 or
177,
something like that.
178. Yeah,
I feel like I've
because
seen them at that weight before. Is the only reason I said 177.
yeah, and it's a fairway driver, and it can be approved or it can be up to. I'm not exactly sure, but you can look on the PDGA website and see. But it's actually approved up to a heavier weight, which is higher than definitely higher than 174, which is what we're used to seeing for fairways.
Pickle, you joined late, but almost not as quite as late as me.
Good point.
Um,
I
no,
debated acting like I was asleep when you came in here, but
I was going to give you a few minutes, and I was like, you know what? I might just go live if he does not answer me back and just be like, hey, this is going to be a really short one. No, no, like you said, there's even other mids. I think, what is it, the Condor that Innova
Mhm.
has? It's
Yeah,
it's
but it's
approved
like
to
this
be
big.
over. Yeah, but it's approved to be like I think like 210 grams or something like that, like or at least 200 grams or something like that.
Yeah.
So it is a thing. If you've ever picked up a disc whenever you, and I think that was one thing that threw me off for mids for a long time, is that
Hmm.
they are like one of the first ones I had was a Comet, and it was noticeably a bigger disc than what I was used to throwing. So if you hold a mid and a putter up against each other, the mid generally is a bigger diameter than a putter. The putter will be almost like the inside rim of
Hmm.
it. So that's why mid will say, or you can get one up to 180 grams, and the putters are always like 175
Right.
max generally. So yeah, that's a good thing that Baysinger's talking about. What was that?
That's the Pekka Pekka. It's actually
76.
176. Yeah.
I feel like I have 130 or 130. Definitely have one that's 130 grams plus.
Wow. Can I throw that?
It's plus. There's
Oh, plus.
130. There's 130 grams in there.
There are indeed 130 grams.
But yeah, it's. I don't even remember what we were talking about, rambling, but right before we started talking about disc weights. Oh, Japan.
Yes.
That
Yeah.
was always a fun one to watch, though. I remember watching it a while back, and it's been a while since it's actually been on. I feel like.
Yeah. They were supposed to do in 2020, and then the world fell apart.
And the
So
world came crumbling down.
I hope you
I,
get a chance to listen to my song I wrote for you.
I'm really thinking about making one myself about you. I might make a music video about us and the horses.
And the horse. Did you see Pickle's comment earlier? I wanted to shout that out before we got too far away from it.
Which one?
It says, "Someone get Baysinger a scarf. I know that neck is cold."
I saw. I probably blew everybody's earballs out just then laughing so hard.
Earballs. You got
Earballs,
balls in
dog.
your ear? What?
Sometimes you got discs in your ears. Sometimes,
Oh,
don't you?
discs. I've got
Yeah,
gauges. Yeah.
that's what I'm talking about, dog. They look like discs, don't they? They ain't circle. They ain't round.
Why are they not round? What do you mean?
All the way around. If you hold them one way, they're flat.
That's a good point. Good point.
So someone, yeah, there it is. Someone get Baysinger a scarf. I saw his comment earlier. It made me think of that comment where he was just like, "No."
Yeah. Oh,
But
that's funny.
no, I kind of want to see some of those tournaments coming up. It'll be a good change, I think, from what we're used to seeing here the past
Hmm.
couple of years. Because I mean, you see a lot of the same courses over and over again
Hmm.
on coverage. So it is nice to have that little breakup over in Europe and overseas. Get some different disc golfers in too, because it's cool. Because there's almost always a local pop up that you're
Hmm.
not usually used to seeing. I know one that's going to be probably seen quite a bit as long as I'm sure he'll be over there is like Vino Makala.
Vinyl
I'm sorry.
Makala, yeah. Something like that.
Vino, and then there's another one, Nicholas, something. I think they're both Prodigy
Nicholas
guys.
Antala.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those guys pop up and they're on their own kind of home turf. But I really do wish we would see Seppo. We'll see KJ,
Right.
so
Yeah.
that'll be cool. But Seppo's gonna that one was like a dagger to the heart though. Whenever I saw his post that one time, I was like, oh man,
I
because
know.
he was one of my favorites too.
The saddest part about it was I went to go watch the video because I've been a huge Seppo fan, and the whole entire video wasn't finished, so I couldn't understand even what he was talking about. So it's
are,
like,
are you ready for it? Hold on. Oh, Seppo Paul here.
Seppo fail.
This is Seppo Paul here. What's going on, guys?
Um,
That's my impression. I'm sorry.
that's pretty good. That's
Yeah.
solid. Not
I
gonna
used to
lie.
like watching his his vlogs and stuff at his house and junk him throwing around his house at those baskets and stuff he had set up. I just always liked his personality. He just seemed like a cool dude.
Yeah, same.
But
I always
anything,
wanted to see him win something big. You know what I mean? Like a USDGC or something
what would
really
have
big.
been his biggest win? Let's see. I could
I'm
probably
not
look it
even
up real
sure.
quick. Let me see. Because that is a he had all the talent for sure to
Absolutely.
win uh, something. Did he end up in contention at least for that one tournament we were talking about where he eagled or whatever two'd that hole? Uh,
I don't think so. I think he had a really bad. Uh, I want to say that was like second round, and he had a really bad third round or something like that.
oh, dude, you know
If I'm
what's
not
even
mistaken.
sadder right now is
Ooh, sorry.
that what's even sadder right now is that you type in his name for the PDGA and his membership has expired. So
That's
you can't
yeah.
even click his career wins to
I
see
know.
what he won. Oh,
Hey, Ben's in the comments. That'll make you feel happier. He's tuning in from New Mexico. What's up, Ben?
yo, what's going on? No, he's got 28 career wins. So 184 events and 28 career wins. But we cannot. I could probably Google and maybe find them, but I thought I was going to be able to search his career wins and see what his best ones were. But, well, that was a letdown. But what's going on, Ben? Glad you're tuning in. Hope everything's going good with you. He's all over the place all the time.
Except
All the time.
Tennessee.
Except Tennessee.
Come to
But,
Tennessee and Virginia.
yeah, I'm hoping we can get a good round in with them here at some point. It'd be cool. I really want to go play Winthrop. They've been talking about that.
Yeah, for sure. It'd be fun.
I really want to play that course, so I hope that we can make that happen. I don't even know. I talk about it like I'm still in last year, like it's still like 6 months away or 7 months away, but I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure it's not that far. Time goes by fast when you have any amount of kids,
true.
and
True.
especially if they're crazy.
Hmm.
But oh, I need to
I,
get my phone back out.
um, I was going to say, just to touch on what you're talking about with Seppo not being able to see his tournament stuff, there needs to be a company, maybe one of these bigger foundations probably got the money to do it. Somebody, you know what I mean? One of these huge channels or something like that, that uses some of their Patreon money and just be upfront about it at first and be like, we are going to pay for the PDGA memberships of like Ken Climo, Seppo Payu, like any of the pros that are, I mean, even some of the guys like, well, I'm sure Steady Ed stuff is probably public, but all of these, people who are just legends of the game, you know what I mean? That should be
Mm-hmm.
public. And I know people have said that's a big thing that they've not liked about the PDGA before, but also I see they've got people know those rules going into it. You know what I mean? That
Mm-hmm.
your stats are not going to be public. So I understand their end somewhat, but it'd be great if someone like just a Patreon thing, everybody just put in money to pay for some of those. So all that stuff's constantly readily available always.
Don't the PGA have some type of like insane like membership that you can buy for a lifetime?
Yeah, it's like $150 a year or something like that though, I
Is it
think.
by year or is it like a one-time thing? Like you pay
Oh,
like a thousand or some or like a few $1,000s or something like that for it.
yeah.
I'm trying to remember. At some point, like you say, like I feel like if you have like, I mean, even if it's not a big number of people, have like some people that's probably just good enough to grandfather them in.
Yeah. Like Climo.
Climo. I mean, you think about it, Climo, Macbeth, Ricky, all these people, they've made you enough money
Yeah.
off of your tournament coverage, any tournament coverage that you've been on or been a part of.
Mhm.
Those guys, if you maybe make it, you win 5 majors, you're a lifetime member or something, or at least like a member that's where it's like if you ever retire, you're at like give you a retirement membership to where like hey your stats are still going to be available,
Yeah.
but if you want to compete on pro tour or something you're going to have to update your membership,
Mhm. Or
something
what?
like that.
Why is Zenova not paying for Ken Climos? Why is Prodigy not paying for Seppos? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
He retired with them. He
I'm
won all those. You'd think they would want that information up there. You know what I mean?
I don't know if it's one of those things too to where like some companies are I don't know that this would be just too much reading into the making drama or not, but if there's any type of companies that are kind of in that ballpark or where they would rather see the PDGA slowly
Hmm.
just kind of go back so they don't want to really like deal with them so they don't care if they kind of go away, they're like we know the stats that they want already. But it would be cool though maybe if we had another um, like you're saying, instead of like people paying for a membership, is that we have somebody like the Stat Mando people that keep up stats or something eventually
Hmm.
build it to where they've researched and they know all the events that people have so that it's public knowledge and that go into the records and they have their own kind of PDGA stat book
Hmm.
to where like if somebody retires you can go back and be like oh well they won this and this on Statmando or whatever
Hmm.
like that. Some website where people do that. That would be cool.
Well, that's even like if, unfortunate, but sometimes like players are going to pass away. So it's like,
Mm-hmm.
what are their stats just gone because they can't pay for it anymore? You know what I mean? So that's why I think there should be something in there that allows for those stats to be maybe just the people like we pay the only the people who pay are able to see those stats
Oh yeah, like if you're a
instead of
PDJ
public.
member or something like that, as long
Right.
as you're logged into your account, it shows up.
Hmm.
That would make enough sense to me.
Hmm. Just
Because
have a
the one way you could look at that is like, hey, if you've not paid for your membership, you're not going to be able to look up your own wins, but people that have can.
right. I don't know.
That would make sense because you're paying for a PDGA to have access to the PDGA stuff. So
Hmm.
that would be probably make the most sense. Is just make it public in the sense that it's public to members.
Hmm.
That would be probably the easiest solution. Just click the switch. Yeah, just click the switch over there at PDGA, like members only, kind of like a Patreon. Members only get this uh,
Yeah.
info, but yeah, it is kind of sad that that stuff kind of happens because, like you said too, like even you have a legend that passes away, they get like 70 or 80 years old or something like that. You got Steady
Right.
Ed and all those people like that. They don't have an option to renew unless you go
Exactly.
in automatically and go, okay, we're gonna turn their stats on
Hmm.
or something. So
And I mean, how's PDJ going? Okay, so say someone, 60. 70-year-old local person in Florida or something like that passes away, PDGA is never going to know that that person passes away. To them, that person just quit paying for their membership.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. That is
So
true.
there should be some way to be able to see that stuff, especially for paid members. So,
Do you do you ever foresee that the PDGA is kind of out of the picture? They're there, but
yes.
they're not the governing body.
Hmm. I think we're already seeing that. I think the PDJ will always be there for like I think it's necessary for like the amateur side of things, you know what I mean? But as far as the pro how the pro tour is going, I think we're eventually going to see the pros kind of fade out of that and the I think the PD or I'm sorry, I think the disc golf pro tour will eventually just be these elite players. You get to a certain PDGA rating or disc golf pro tour standing and you're in. You know what I mean? For better lack of a better word, like and then the PDGA will be your local pros and your advanced,
Yeah.
intermediate, and stuff like that.
I mean, I could see that being how it goes. You get on Pro Tour, and at that point in time, they have their own system of how they rate around, and they're not going to require a PDGA rating. They're not going to pay the PDGA's sanctioning fees
Hmm.
and just move on that way. I still have my own uh, nitpicks about how they force some people to play in a division and then allow others to not worry
Hmm.
about it. I still think that there should be a division cap on the rating for advanced.
Hmm.
I think it's very, very, for lack of other words, stupid that you see a lot of your amateur world title people play and then once they win, they turn pro.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, you were 1,000 rated or you were 997 rated, you won.
Hmm.
And then they get sponsored by somebody, and the next year they're playing pro tour or trying to at least go pro. I think you should have a 975 cap, and at that point in time, you play pro. You're not forced to accept cash. That's my
Hmm.
caveat because people's like, you can't force somebody to be a pro. No, but you could force them to play with the pros, and then if they want to keep merch, let them have that merch offered up to them if they win or if they place or something like that, or if they decide they want to cash. If not, you keep AM status and fall back under 975, you can play advanced again. But
But are they going to offer something for? I mean, do they offer stuff for pros? You know what I mean? Like, our pros have the chance even to win? Like, yeah, I know you said like let them not accept cash. I mean, what
but
if they get first place? Like,
what I'm talking about is you don't have to reclassify as a pro, but you have to play in the pro division.
hmm.
So, like, I have to now where I accepted cash a couple times. I have no option. I have to play pro.
Hmm.
What's it called is not an option like merch. It's just if I cash, I cash. But if I had not accepted cash, I could win pro and say, as long, I think they had some stipulations in there for certain tiers or something. But if you won a B tier or something in pro, and the first place got $300, you could be like, I'm not accepting cash, and they'll give you a $300 merch credit,
Okay, that's
and you still
yeah.
keep AM status
Hmm.
at that point in time. So that's what I'm saying is like, hey, tell them, hey, you can't play advanced, or at least at AM Worlds level, have it to where it's if you're gonna do that, cap it off and have another AM level above advanced. That's 975 to 1,000
Hmm.
because I mean that's where a lot of your people's winning at in AM Worlds is advanced and then have like I mean it would maybe sound fun but or I mean not sound fun sound dumb to people like semi pro or minor. I don't know, something like how you have pro levels at other pro sports because you have um,
Like an
at the
interim pro.
yeah like yeah interim pro or something like that because you have Nashville Predators hockey team. I'm going hockey because I like hockey.
Hmm.
You also have the Knoxville Ice Bears. They're a pro
Yeah.
team, They're a pro team, but they're in the SPHL instead of the NHL. They're both
Mm-mm.
pros, but pros get pulled. They're at a minor league hockey pro level. NHL is the top tier. Have
Mm.
a tier system that way, like you said, like interim pro.
Yeah.
You're not intermingling with 935 to 975 because I mean if you're 990 playing against sometimes in tournaments like sometimes you're 30 points higher rated than any other advanced player
Right. Yeah.
out there. I mean, it's yours to lose generally, like at that point in time. So uh, that's what I feel. Whether people agree with it or not, it's no hair off of my
No, I
head.
definitely understand what you're saying. I mean, it makes sense because I don't know. It's kind of like that. Uh, honestly, a lot of sandbagging going into that. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, I mean, my whole theory behind it is nobody has a problem with it at all until they get to advanced.
yeah.
If you get 936 rated, guess what? Or 935 rated, guess what? You can't play intermediate anymore. You're required to play advanced.
Mm-hmm.
If you're 900 rated, guess what? You can't play with the 899 rated guy.
Mm-hmm.
They're fine with it all the way until you get into the advanced category, and then they give you 935 to no cap.
Yeah. Yeah. It's kind
I
of
mean,
weird.
technically, you could be an AM and be 1,040 rated and not accept cash. And
Wow.
be able to go in because you're not classified as you're an amateur still.
Because
If
you've
you
never
don't
accepted
upstate, yeah,
cash.
because you
Yeah.
don't ever accept cash. Technically, you could have somebody do that. You could have a Chris Dickerson walk around and be like, I'm not going to accept cash and
Mm-hmm.
go around. But I mean, at that point, that's just somebody wanting to. I don't know why you would do that because you would be beating every pro too at the
Mm-hmm.
thing and just be going. You'd be making a whole lot more money probably, but if
Yeah.
you would take cash, but. Uh, I mean, in theory, where there is no cap, unless there's something I don't know about, you can be because I've played against people that were like nine. I've went to advanced, played in an amateur event before, and had somebody that was like 995 rated playing in advanced because it was an amateur tournament.
Mm-hmm.
So there is no pro. Like that's that's I always found it just kind of funny. It's like you just have no problem with it until then. I'm
Until
like,
you get
hey,
to that certain level. Yeah.
yeah, I'm just like, hey, tell them that they can't play advanced, and then uh, you don't have to accept cash. You can just play for merch. But for me, I've always just wanted to play against the best people. So like, if I'm like, that's what happened in advance. I started placing top three, top four fairly consistently. It wasn't all the time, but I was like, if I'm playing three events and two of them I got top three, I was always looking to see where I would have placed in pro.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay. And I have this mindset too. People tell me it's the wrong mindset. I don't care. If I win advanced and I don't beat pro, I lost
Yeah.
because I didn't beat everybody.
That's true.
My goal is to beat everybody. If I'm going to be winning, I want to win everybody. I want to beat everybody. So I might as well, I just started going, I might as well play pro and then try to beat everybody. The only
Yeah.
thing is at that point too is if you play and then you beat everybody in pro and then one guy in advanced beats you, then you're like,
Yeah. That's true.
yeah. So I always had to like I had like a couple of wins this past year in pro, and then I'd be like, I didn't get
Advanced.
beat. I didn't.
Yeah.
I looked at the one my favorite tournament was the Throwmore tournament. I ended up winning. It was the first time I ever won pro, and I went back and I looked and I saw Blake Loggins had been shooting really hot, and he was one stroke behind me in advance, and I was just like, yes, I didn't get beat.
That's funny.
No, that's my mindset though. But I guess that's a competitive nature's mindset too. So I'd rather just get beat in pro than win in another division. And
No, I 100% agree. I mean, that's why I play intermediate. I mean, technically by my rating, I could still be playing rec, but I don't want to be the guy that's been playing disc golf for 13 years and playing in rec. You know what I mean?
Here we go.
Oh, it's all Ben's. Yeah. I was going to
Yeah,
say, good job. Why do you just absolutely hate on Ben's future?
I'm going to become 1040 rated. Then never accept cash. Just win every MA1 tourney and accept the vouchers. Get $10,000 in vouchers and open my own disc golf store. Hey, that would be one way to start a business. I have to say that would be one way. Hey, that was what was it? Speaking of that much money, um, wouldn't that be kind of like, was it match play or something like that? They did a while back. Dynamic, you would get like the winners or something like that. There was some event they did that you won like uh, $10,000 in discs or like $1,000 a year or something in discs or something a month. It was nuts. I was like, that's enough for somebody to get and be able to open up a store because they got it for so many years. It was
Wow.
something they were doing for a while. I'm pretty sure it was dynamic or something. And I was like, man, I want to win that just to be able to. That would be cool. It'd be free stuff to sell.
Yeah. I mean, they probably know you're going to do that with it anyway.
Yeah, I mean,
Nobody's
it's
going to
gonna
use
be
that many.
literally if you unless you're just one of them people and it's just like you won and you're just like the people throwing dollar bills around. You just walk up to a course that's all water and you just I'm going to throw this one into the water
Uh,
today. Throw two shots. The first one's a real shot, and the second one you just launch a driver into the water for fun.
like like Prodigy did on
Yeah,
that one video.
we were on the same brainwave on that one.
Oh, it's
No,
great.
yeah, it is. We can try. Let's see how long we've been on. An hour and 11 minutes. I don't want to run too late. Um, I'm trying to think. I could bring this up. I don't think it would be really long. I feel like I would know your answer, but I have this written down to talk about at some point. So, give me your true thoughts on lost discs and people asking for ransoms.
Those people, hot take real quick, are idiots.
Oh my
Don't
god.
listen. I have actually driven to like I found a local guy, Chuck Collins. I'm sure you know who he is.
Mm-hmm.
But I found one of his discs years ago, and Amanda can like come on here and tell you that I drove out of my way to take it to him. You know what I mean? Uh, I do not like somebody finding someone else's property. I do know that I kind of see that people are like, well, you didn't look for it long enough because you didn't find it. I understand that, but you don't know people's circumstances. You know what I mean? They might have had to go pick their kid up from school. They might have
Yeah.
had prior engagements that they had to do. You know what I mean? And had to leave. And then that
Mm-hmm.
person could have found it in that time frame where they were going to try and go back to find it. So
Mm-hmm.
I do not believe that people should keep other people's discs. I've always done like I even had a guy one time. I'd sold a disc to someone or traded it at Halo when somebody bought it, you know. And somebody called me and they were like, "Hey, I got your disc," and I met up, and it turned out to be one that I had not. That it wasn't mine anymore. I knew I'd sold it, and I
Uh,
told the guy, I was like, "Well, if you want to keep it because it wasn't mine, or if you want to, because I don't know where, you know what I mean." But
mm-hmm.
like I'll even do that. Like not, but he ended up. He's like, "I don't need it, so just take it." And I was like, "Well, I can take it." And I think I put it up at Halo and was like, "If this is anybody's," and I felt weird posting about it because I'm like, "This has my name and number on it, and it says mine, but it's not mine anymore." You know what I mean? So,
Yeah. Oh, I've had that happen many times with disc in mind because the same guy I was talking about with the Japan Open discs, he
hmm
refuses to put his name or number on anything.
hmm
And there for a while, he had a lot of discs that he had either traded for me or traded to me and stuff. And I would get calls and they'd be like, "Hey, I found your disc." And I'd be like, I've not been to that course before.
yeah,
And I'd be like, "What disc is it?" And they describe it. And I go, "Michael, he lost that one.
mm
He just got it off me yesterday." And that happened one time. I got a call from a Florida number. I was like, who's calling me from Florida? And I finally picked it up, and they were like, hey, I found your disc down here. I was like, I've never been there, and turned out he had just been to Florida.
Wow,
And the
that's
person
funny.
found it. But no, I'm on that same reasoning with you. Is like you said, you don't know people's circumstances. I know over in the Tri Cities a lot. There's a lot of people that sometimes will go on their lunch break
Mm-hmm.
and play around. Like if you lose a disc and you've got an hour,
Get
or you
good.
got to go back
Yeah.
to your job or get fired,
Mm-hmm.
they're gonna go back to their job. I mean,
Yeah.
it's the thing is you don't know that. I've had discs I really liked before, and I've went out for like 5 days in a row looking for over an hour every time to try to find things. Never find them.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like you don't look for it sometimes. People's like, you just didn't look long enough. It's like, listen, I had a flashlight. It was dark. I
Yeah.
can't look any longer. And like you said, you just don't know. I mean, people got kids, people got stuff going on. That stuff drives me nuts. I see it all the time. I've sent discs back to people.
Mm-hmm.
I've called people before. I'm just like, if I mean, sometimes if somebody, usually if somebody finds one of my discs or something, I'll be like, hey, do you want this one?
Mm-hmm.
Instead, like a disc I don't throw or something like that. Or if it's one I just gave up on and didn't really care about it, I might be like, oh, if you got to ship it, then you can have it or something. But
Did I ever tell you the story about Jason in Kentucky?
I don't think so. Your brother Jason or Griffith?
Yeah.
Oh,
No, my
okay.
brother. All right. So this is gonna for people in the comments. This is gonna hurt your hearts here. So Jason was at a convention in Kentucky one time, and he got around in a disc golf back when he used to play a lot more than he does now. And he lost a disc on a course. You know, keep in mind he's from Tennessee playing in Kentucky. Well, he gets a text the next day, and dude's like, "Hey, I found your disc out at blah blah blah." And Jason's like, "Oh, cool." He's like, "I have." He's like, "I'm still in town." He's like, "Can we meet up so I can get it back?" Dude proceeds to say, "Oh, I didn't say I was going to give it back to you. I just wanted you to know that I found it." And yeah, I tried to get Jason to give me dude's number to post on Craigslist, but my brother's a much nicer person than I am, so it
I
never
just,
happened.
I'd be like, I work for the FBI and I just traced your phone number.
Well, the
I
dude
just,
apparently also was just being so rude to Jason. He said, judging by where I found it, you didn't need this disc anyway.
I'd
But
be like,
then
well,
Jason,
you were there.
yeah, that's what Jason said. He said, well, you found it there, so apparently you don't either or something. But yeah, that's
Oh
the
my gosh.
unfortunate Kentucky story about Jason's rest in peace frisbee.
Yeah, and also, I never got Griffith's back. That one he lost at Lehman, that Thrasher, he left it or something like
Oh,
that. A guy was like, I think he was texting a guy, and then the guy kept on giving, like, he was like, I'm in the hospital, or I was in the hospital or something, and then I just forgot.
hmm,
And I don't know where that number is anymore. I guess he gave up on that Thrasher. I would assume. I ain't heard from him in
I
a
guess.
while about it.
Yeah,
But, no, just return discs to people.
yeah. I
I
mean,
hear
you
this
know,
stuff.
I found one out there at Lehman. Speaking of Lehman, when we were out there
Oh,
one day,
yeah.
and what did I do? I gave it to the guy in the town.
And he has it. Or, well, you gave it
I
to
gave it
me.
to you. That's what I'm saying. The
And
guy that
then
I
the
know.
guy, and
Yeah.
then I finally got that disc back to the guy. His name's Dale. He came and
Oh,
played the Ridge tournament we had up here in the fall, and I gave it back to him that day. I had it for a while, but I
mm-hmm.
did. The dude messaged. I texted him, and I called and left a voicemail, and then texted it. Threw it in my truck. Had it in my truck for like a month. Then I got a text back. He's like, "Oh, I just saw this." I'm like, did you scroll for 3 hours to see the text too? Because I've had
Oh,
this
that's
thing
funny.
for a while, but
That's hilarious.
he ended up getting it back. But I've always tried to do that because I have so many discs laying around anyways. Like if I find a disc, people give me discs all the time to give to people because I know most of the people around here.
Hmm.
in
I
general.
mean, sometimes you just can't. That's the unfortunate thing of it. Sometimes you can't. I'm not going to lie. My discs, I don't have my name and number written on any disc in my bag at the moment now. Uh, but and that's just because I got really bad at like stamping the logo on it and writing
Yeah.
my name around it, and had so much ink on them before. So I was like, I just want to appreciate these discs how they are and not kind of ruin them. But I do put a little black dot right above. If you ever find an RPM disc, I'm saying this now. If you ever find an RPM disc, you look on the bottom on the inside of the rim where it always has the model number. I always
Mm-hmm.
put a black dot just above the model number on the inside of the rim. So that's how
I'm
you know if it was mine.
I'm gonna start doing that to all my RPM discs now, so it'll be a toss up between whose it is.
I will stab you.
No, I was always I would be I was curious. I was like I knew what your answer was gonna be like that, and what I feel like everybody's answer should be, but
Should. Yeah.
should be. But I just don't understand people sometimes. There's some people that just want to see the world burn.
Yeah. Unfortunately. Shout out to Kevin Egan in the comments. He said he had a guy uh, from North Carolina contact him about a disc he had traded 4 years earlier. That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean it's funny. There's a guy I know, Sam Henley had. He threw a Sexton Firebird, lost it somewhere in Knoxville, and then um, somehow the disc ended up getting posted at Ledgestone or something as a lost
Wow.
disc, and then he was like, that's mine. I can." That's my disc, and then he was like, "I wonder who took it." And there was only one person at Ledgestone from Knoxville, and
Oh,
everybody
wow.
was getting mad. He got kicked out of Knoxville's group
No way.
because of all the comments going back and forth and stuff. And he's like, "Look, I've even got messages from the guy. The guy said that he's like, oh yeah, I accidentally grabbed your Sexton out of the car instead of mine and was throwing it and lost it." He's like, "He didn't tell me that you
Yeah.
had it though."
Wow.
I was just like, and that always threw me through. And he posted those pictures, and they ended up kicking him from the group. He was like, "I even got the guy admitting it." Everybody was
That's
saying that it was
crazy.
like, "You don't know it was him," and then he was like, I've got the pictures." But
When we're no longer not live, I'm gonna need that name.
okay, hey, what's oh, I think I figured it out. Smoky Mountain Disc Golf, Kevin.
Harris,
What's
yeah.
his Harris is his name.
Hmm.
Okay, when I see you, I got to smack your face.
Oh yeah, that's right.
He said, "Just give Baysinger a smack." He's a cool guy.
Yeah, he's
I
cool.
saw. I had no idea that his shop was just the RV.
Hmm. It
I
used
pulled
to
it.
be a store.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now he's got actually the racks that you see at Halo. Halo bought those for. Did he tell you that?
That's what he was telling me. Yeah. He was telling
Yeah, it
me
was
all that
kind of
stuff.
weird because, like, I work for Halo, so obviously I'm, you know, Rick's buddy and and co-worker slash subordinate. But and then Kevin, I've known Kevin for a while too, so it was kind of a weird situation. The Smoky Mountain Discs RV pulling up to Halo, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
hey, we worked it out. Kevin's a cool guy, and Rick knows that. And then it worked out for both of us. He got some cash for the racks, and shop looks a lot better now.
Yep. Let's see. Hey, thanks for tuning in, Ben. It's good having you on,
Yeah, thanks, man.
checking out and talking with us.
Let's get around in this year for sure.
Yeah, for sure. But no, I thought that was cool. I pulled up to. I was like, I'm just gonna play this course and just wait around and stuff. And I pulled up and I saw that all the discs out, and I was like, "Is there an event here?" And I asked somebody, I was like, "Is there something going on here today?" Because I just drove here. I didn't. They were like, "Oh no, it's just a disc golf store." I went.
Yeah,
He sets up here like on Saturdays. They're like, "Oh no, that's the store." I was like, "Oh, I had no idea," because I remembered y'all having the videos with the drone
yeah.
going over the building. So I was like, I
Mhm.
didn't know that he didn't even have a solid state building anymore. But he talked about that stuff and junk. So he was a cool guy. It was a cool little setup. But to keep this from going much longer, do you want to go ahead and just kick right into our little game? And
Let's go for it.
Calling that. So I got to remember, we name a disc and then we have to try to pick the numbers, right?
Right. And we can't do infinite discs because that's wrong.
Oh yeah, the actual numbers.
It's got to
Okay.
be from the website. I think
Oh,
we're 1-1, right? Because I won the first week, and I think you won last week.
I may
if I'm not
have.
mistaken.
Oh yeah, because I guessed the slammer after we took 10
Right.
minutes to
Yeah.
to guess.
If
Okay,
you
so
if
that
you
would
want
be
to
right.
accept that as a point, then yeah, sure.
I am up by 1.
Oh, okay.
It was 2 points. Um,
So are you picking
this is
first, or
yeah, I can pick you a disc. Let me see if I can get one. Hold on. Let me see what I got here. I got some discs here.
while he's getting it ready? If people don't know, in the comments, we do this game here where we will both pick a disc for each other, and we have to try and guess the flight numbers. If we do not have an outright winner, then you in the comments can tell us a disc for a tiebreaker, right?
Yes, yes. So we're going to start with this, and I'm not going to make it too hard, I don't think, but I just have this stack of fresh discs here that I'm going to pick, and I don't have to
Okay.
Google this number.
Smart. I
Uh,
have 0 discs behind me or beside me, so it's going to be a little harder for me.
what are the flight numbers for a Discraft Scorch?
The Discraft Scorch is an 11 speed. It is 11, 5, -2, 2.
So close.
Oh,
It is 11, 6, -2, 2.
oh my gosh, the
I,
glide.
honest, I honestly
Oh,
thought the glide was going to get you. I thought you were going to
oh
get it right
man,
all but the glide because I was like, you don't generally see many 6 glides
dang it.
except
Dang,
for like a P-Walk. So I was
aren't
like,
you in your Discraft marketing saying it's a 6 glide when it's actually
it's
5?
really just fake glide.
All right, I'm going to pick one here
Oh,
because I did not get a point,
hello,
unfortunately.
family.
Hello, family. Um, we are going to go with the Castoplast Rask. No,
Ooh,
give me just a second because it's okay. I got it. You're good. Go for it.
I'm going to say it is a 13, 4, 0, 3.
It is a 14-3-0-4.
I have 2 of those. Thought I was getting it right. I forgot that they had that listed as the 14 speed,
Yeah.
and then I had the glide and the fade switched. I said a 4 and a 3 instead of a 3 and a 4. I was, I felt like I was going to
Both.
get that one right because I've reviewed them.
That's what I'm worried about. I'm going to pick a disc. You've reviewed every disc on the market.
I've reviewed quite a few, honestly. I'm gonna pick one I don't even know the numbers to. Let me get this one. So we're doing 2 each, right?
Yeah, I think we
If
did it. Now that you
okay,
say that, yeah. Oh, I need to get my phone up here.
okay. See, this is gonna be one that's hard because I believe I have it. I want to know the flight numbers to the Prodigy A4.
The Prodigy A4 flight numbers are 4, 4, 0, 2.
So very close. 4, 4, -1, 2.
Oh my!
It's such a weird flying disc that I was like, it might give you a little bit of trouble.
Oh my gosh!
I'm
All
actually
right.
surprised that you got 3 out of the 4 numbers correct.
I am
You
too, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie. All right. Let's see what this do I want to do. I'm getting the flight numbers here. Bear with me.
okay.
I know the disc. I want you to tell me the flight numbers on the Innova Discs Animal.
I feel like you let me feel this one. I feel like it was one kind of like the rhino or the pig or something like that. It was really weird. I'm going to go 3, 3, 0, 1.
Mm, you got the last two right, sir. But the Innova Animal is 2101.
I knew it was something really weird. There was no chance I was going to get that right.
The garbagest disc on the market.
Does it have a
Yeah,
rim on it like
it
the
yeah, it
pig?
does.
Okay,
I don't know if you can see it.
that's really hard to tell.
Kind of right in
I just
this. There,
remember it
there it
being.
is. Look,
Oh yeah,
there's the
is it the
ring.
one that was like crazy domey too?
Yes, it's yeah,
Okay, okay. So the way we're tied at knowing 0 of them.
yeah,
So now what are we gonna do? We gotta get somebody. Staley, uh, are we? Don't comment it yet, Staley,
yeah,
or whoever wants to. But so as soon as it pops up on the comment feed, we have to just try to guess the number.
yeah. That works for me.
Okay.
Oh, let me get my phone. All right, we're both ready. Stilly, give us a disc.
Okay. Let it go.
Oh, do we just continuously guess? Did we get
I
it right?
guess so. First, what? First down. Orc. Oh,
Orc.
13, 4, 0, 3.
11, 5, negative 1, 2.
This is going to be really hard because we don't have somebody telling us no.
Yeah.
Oh,
Maybe we just guess once
and just
and
check.
then and
Let's
then
see.
nobody gets a point this week.
What the heck? I don't even know what numbers I said. I just rushed really quick. Was either of us right, Stelly?
Please say Josh. Oh no, because he's
Yeah,
Josh.
please say Josh. I know I said 13, I think 403 or something like that.
I'm gonna look it up here on the is that all we're gonna do?
I guess so, yeah. He
That
said
one?
Mother of Disc Golf won.
Mother.
I don't even see his comment.
I don't even see a comment.
He's just playing favorites right now. They're very good buddies now.
Or I just typed in of a ord.
That
All
one's a
right.
1 speed.
The 10, we're both wrong because you said it's a 10
I said
speed.
13, you said
And
11.
I said 11, so.
That's just oh yeah.
Ooh,
I
I
was
think I got.
nowhere. I don't think I was. I got 4 glide right and a 3 fade. I had a 0 for the turn though. So
So nobody gets a point this week.
rock paper scissors.
We are losers.
Uh, okay,
No.
you ready?
I don't know
Literally,
how you do this. Do you do 1, 2, 3
rock
shoot or
paper
1, 2
scissors
shoot?
shoot. You
Okay.
say rock paper scissors shoot. Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna say rock.
Okay.
Rock paper scissors shoot. Ah! I told you I was going rock.
I thought you were a lying fool. The
Mind
West.
games. Mind games.
Oh,
We'll call it
Lord.
a 1.5.
A 1.5.
Yeah, I'm ahead by 0.5. Okay. Well, this was a fun, a little bit quicker one this week. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for joining and waiting on me because we had some decent viewers still today, so I'm happy
Mm-hmm.
about that, even though I kept y'all waiting. But anything you want to say? We're going to be over on his channel next week.
Right. For the
So next
back
Sunday.
9 of the whole discussion.
Yep.
Uh, that'll be
Kiwanis.
Kiwanis, the third course and the fifth podcast. That's kind of confusion. Confusion. I said. I wish we now in retrospect it's too late to do it now, but I kind of wish we would have done like one, and then for Winged Deer do 2 and 2.5, and then for this do 3 and
Oh yeah.
3.5. But it's too late now, so
You just change the titles.
I guess I could. But then the intro, they're gonna be like, "What?" He says we're up to podcast number 408, but this is podcast number 12.
Go back and just like edit, like do some magic edit, voiceover on it.
Yeah,
But no, thanks for tuning in. We like I
yeah.
said, we'll be over on Baysinger's channel next week. Make sure you're subscribed.
Hit that subby.
Comment with us and everything. You never know when we might do another giveaways or something like that. It pays sometimes to be subscribed. Hey, if you
Mm-hmm.
want to join, both of us have Patreon as well. So if you want to check those Patreons out, if I can remember, I'll try to put both of them in the comments. But sometimes I blank out. I didn't even have a thumbnail for this until like 4 today. So, but
That's funny. Yeah,
but
this
yeah,
this was episode 5 here, right?
yes,
And so next week will be our 10th podcast, like
yeah,
full. So, and just so you all know, within 10 podcasts, we've already given away 4 discs. So it
yeah.
definitely pays to be
That
that
is
subby.
true. That is true. If you ever feel like you want to give away something for us, go ahead.
Yeah.
We're giving away
Oh,
like crazy.
plus there is no, remember, Mr. Jacob
T
Sandridge.
Rex.
Yeah, T Rex Disc Golf has donated a disc to give away next. Speaking of, there he is in the comments. Jacob, we'll talk about it this week and figure out something since it's your disc, we'll figure out how to give it away, buddy.
Mother, you dirty little thing. Don't you say it doesn't pay.
He'll
You
get
might get
one.
a giveaway one day.
I'll send
Nah.
him my toothpick from supper today.
He'll pay
Send me
the
your
shipping on
address.
it. Yeah, he'll pay the shipping.
Free shipping. Don't worry about it. Got you, bro.
But yeah, thanks for tuning in. It was a fun one, quick one, and we'll be back on this channel in 2 weeks. But like I said, Baysinger channel next week, so tune in with us. It was fun.
Thank you
Till
all.
next time.
Thanks, Delp.
Peace. Oh, awkward ending.